Hello, everyone. My name is Lucía López,
Hi everyone, this is Chen Sung.
and this is our campaign, You Belong Here.
According to a study in 2022 by the American College Health Association, about 31% of college students report have a disability, including ADHD, learning disabilities, and sensory impairments such as blindness or deafness. However, only about one-third of these students disclose their condition to their institution. And among those who do, 15 to 42% do not receive any accommodations. The transition from high school to college can be very challenging for students with disabilities, especially when they lack the tools, knowledge, or confidence to advocate for themselves. This is not a small group we are talking about. It represents an estimated 750,000 first year students with disabilities every year. So, to support these students in their transition to college life, we propose the You Belong Here campaign. It can be launched during admitted students' visit days or orientation. The campaign takes the form of an interactive scavenger hunt open to all the students and the staff. QR code posters across campus will share information about the disabilities and available accommodations, while designated counters will offer some guidance, answer questions, and provide stamps for participants' scavenger hunt passports. Lucia will share a specific example of how this can be implemented during Harvard's Visitas program. The You Belong Here campaign aims to shift the campus culture by encouraging the formation of disability students groups and student-led advocacy initiatives. By involving the entire campus community, the campaign fosters equity and inclusion by normalizing conversations around disability and increasing general awareness. Most importantly, it helps first-year students with disabilities develop a sense of belonging, which can reduce their isolation, foster connections through shared experience, and establish psychological safety as they begin their college journey.
Everyone. So, I will be talking about the different barriers that disabled students may find at Harvard College and also what is Harvard College Visitas. So, as you can see down here, according to the DAO last year, about 10 to 20% of the Harvard College students, and this is all 4 years, come in with a disability and are registered with the DAO. And so, this is a large percent of students. And so, it's very much a barrier when there are not all of the disability affinity groups that are registered with the college. And so that makes it really hard for them to find community and support that they need. And here at Harvard College, it is definitely, if not the best, one of the best institutions here in the US. And so that creates a very highly competitive environment that makes it really hard for students to show vulnerability and, reach out for help when they really need it. And so, what is Harvard College Visitas? So, every year we have an admitted students kind of couple days. And so, this is days where you get to stay with a freshman in their dorm, you can stay with an upperclassman, you get to learn through a bunch of different activities like the club fairs, going to classes, eating in Annenberg about what academic life is like here at Harvard College. And so we thought this would be a great opportunity to implement a scavenger hunt so that students that are coming in with disabilities or curious about what supports there are could learn about it. So what would this look like in execution at Visitas? We are thinking this in two different parts, QR code posters. And so these QR code posters would be at different locations like the DAO office in the Smith Center, the dining services, yard operations, and different shuttle stops where the Harvard daytime and nighttime vans stop. And at these different stops, there would be, different QR code posters that you could scan. And we're proposing that there will be different affinity groups that have representatives, different staff members, faculty members that will be able to talk about all the different types of supports that there are from these different landmarks specifically and how they can best support your disability. And with this, we would have Visitas passports. So you would get your stamp at each of these different stops, and every QR code would be part of the silhouette of the place that you're going to, so that you can scan it later if you're thinking you had a question that got unanswered, or you weren't able to talk to a representative that was at the help desk that will be at each site. And so we're thinking that for the help desk, they'll be the persons that are stamping your passport, and we're thinking that there'll be representatives from disability affinity groups that are registered and non-registered with the college so that you're able to see all the different types of supports and groups that there are. So, what is the impact going to be through this at Harvard specifically? We're hoping that through the scavenger hunt, we're able to demystify a very long and complicated process that will be very overwhelming to a student that might be coming long ways from home and that is having to self-advocate for the first time without their parents. And so there are lots of different meetings and vocabulary and different things that you will be going through as long as you're here at Harvard. And we're hoping that through this, you're able to get a look into how you can decomplicate a complicated process. And we're also hoping that it will be easier for disability affinity groups here at Harvard to be reachable. Because, like I said before, it is way harder to reach affinity groups that are not registered with the campus, as there are not much information outside of social media about them. And so we're hoping that through this and having representatives, students will be able to meet different affinity groups, meet different people, and get connected to people that will help them through this journey. And because we would advertise a scavenger hunt to not only students that have disabilities, but to everyone that is at Visitas, we're hoping that we can foster more empathy and more understanding among students who may not be familiar with learning disabilities or disabilities in general. Thank you.